Let me ask: if every woman on planet Earth is a 10, then what does 10 mean?
It's different to everybody.
Wait.
Yeah, what does it mean
really
to you?
Hold on.
No. What does it mean for objective beauty standards? So, for instance, if a woman was 800 pounds and her arms and legs were lopped off and half of her face was burned off, do you think objectively most men would find her attractive?
She'd be unhealthy and she'd have some type of disability, yes.
But tell me she's a 10. Lie to me. Lie to me and tell me she's a 10.
She's a 10 in her own way in God's eyes. I'm not going to do society.
I don't know what else I can say to show how delusional you are.
It's not
But how the
delusional.
fuck
I'm
are
just
you going
not
to have
gonna
a ministry
degrade
when all you do is
someone. I'm not
lie?
gonna
How are you going to have a
degrade
ministry when all you do is lie?
Why would I? Okay, so if I told her you're a 1, how is that not degrading? How is that beneficial to
Even if
anybody?
it was
How
degrading,
is that loving?
even if it was
how
degrading,
is that gentle? How is
I
that
thought you
kind?
believed in the truth. Do you believe in the truth?
Okay, this fruit of the spirit is kind, loving. That's not loving. Why would I
It's
tell?
not loving to tell me that I'm a 10 when I'm not.
But you should look at yourself as a 10,
No.
and as I do too. And when I do, I'm gonna go work out more. I'm gonna go eat better. I'm gonna do that because I want to be a 10.
If I'm already perfect, why do I need to make myself look
Well,
better?
that's your mindset. I'm thinking I'm a 10, so I'm gonna try even harder to
improve yourself to nothing because you're
You
already
can
a
always
10?
improve yourself.
Then you're not a 10.
That's okay, but you saying that's just a cop out. Of course, there's always room to grow, but I'm saying I'm not gonna sit here and degrade someone and put a number on them. I'm just not.
But
Yeah,
saying
you
that
don't
you're a
have
10
to.
out of a 10 means you're a perfect scale.
Okay.
There's
Let me
a
just
huge
ask you
difference
this
between
then,
10 and
instead.
1.
Let me
Okay,
ask you a different
I'm
question.
10, and I'm gonna
Are there some
continuously
people?
do- What's
Why
that?
not a
Are there some people who are
9.8?
prettier or better looking than other people?
In other people's eyes, yes, 100%.
No,
I've had
even
the-
in, hold on. Let me jump in.
Oh gosh.
So I asked a question that says, have you ever seen a beautiful woman with a mid guy?
Yeah.
So just by you answering that question, you've already conceded that you can make determinations as to physical attractiveness.
Right.
And you said, well, it's equal. I've seen both mid men with a beautiful women, and I've seen beautiful men with mid women.
Yes.
So you yourself can make analysis on people's physical attractiveness.
But even then, I've had this conversation with my friend. As a Christian, we should all look at everybody as beautiful and as perfect, right? As Christian. Yes, we're made in the image of God. Yes, we
It
can.
doesn't mean we're perfect.
So
Doesn't mean, okay, but what I'm saying is, okay, if I see someone that is 100 pounds or 400 pounds, of course, it breaks my heart because it's like, okay, they're unhealthy and they
Okay.
don't see themselves as a 10. That's why they're at that level.
hold on, wait.
Hang on.
Well,
You know
that's
what? I
what
just
I
want to
think.
ask this one quick question. We should see everybody as a 10.
I think everyone should see themselves as a 10 and think themselves as encourage each other to
you
be a
said
10.
as a Christian, we should see everybody as a 10.
Yeah, and like in God through
Yeah.
God's eyes. But if we look at it through society
Through God's
and
eyes.
like culture
So let
and
me ask you
simple,
something. Do you think that chomos are 10s?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a person who diddles kids. Do you think they're 10s?
What does that have to do with their?
I just want to
physical-
make sure through God's eyes we're seeing it the same way. Are they 10s?
That is God's child, and he's heartbroken and lost, and needs Jesus.
yeah,
100%.
they're
but
perfect. They're perfect too, right?
I don't think God sees us as perfect, though.
He sees us as in His image, and of course,
Mm.
the whole killer thing. We're not. That's a whole nother conversation, though. Now we're talking about characteristics and values and all that.
Yeah,
We're talking
because you
about- I
brought
thought-
all that in and said that is part of what makes you a 10 or not a 10. So I'm asking you, if that is a part of what makes you a 10 or not a 10, is a person who diddles kids a 10? Because you see them through God's eyes?
Physically, he could be super.
Because you see them, I see them through God's eyes, and God just loves them anyway, even
I
though
don't
they
think
did this
mentally.
heinous act?
No, mentally, no. But I feel like, yeah, he could be born again. He could be a 10 and change his ways of thinking. Of course he can. And no one's unredeemable. Even people that are extremely
Oh
overweight.
my God, let's keep it on to the looks thing.
Well,
let's keep it on to the
But
looks.
I think that's what makes somebody see somebody else.
They can't engage
as-
with the looks. They
as
refuse
a 10
to.
is you love them for their imperfections. So no, to the world they are not a 10, but in your eyes they are a 10.
Yeah, exactly,
Which
in
means
your
you have
eyes.
to admit that not everyone is a 10.
In your eyes, they're a 10. You can look at everybody and look at them as a 10 and look at them for their best selves.
All right,
Why not?
let me ask you a question. So, I gotta wait until your friend's back for this.
Well, I'll ask one in the interim. Do people go to hell?
Yes.
Of course.
Did God see them as 10s?
Oh, because they rejected him.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, that's weird. So you're saying that, wait,
We're talking about
doesn't
physical,
see everybody
though.
wait, you're saying God doesn't see everybody? Well, no, you said it wasn't just physical. You said I can't make this distinguishment between the physical. It's a whole package, right?
I'm just not going to sit here and degrade someone. I don't think my God is going to want me to. If God was sitting right
Why do
here,
you see it as degrading, though?
I think it's degrading.
Why?
Yeah, I know, because you think that lying is preferable to
It's not
telling the truth.
lying. It's not lying,
is.
but it's. I'm just
Yeah, how
not
is it
gonna
not
say
lying?
because
yeah, you just said every woman on
because
planet
what
Earth
if-
physically is a 10, and you're going to tell me that you're
I'm not
lying?
going to
Go ahead
sit
and
here
lie
and
more.
tell and put insecurities in my own perspective and put insecurities on women. Why? Just because of my perspective. Why would I sit here and do that? I'm not going to do that.
Because it's what's true.
Do you wear makeup?
Okay, yes, I do.
Why do you wear makeup?
Because it's my way of expressing myself, just the same way I do braids. But I also, for people that know me, I go without makeup and bareface a lot of times as well. It
You
just
think you're
depends
10
on.
with and
Well,
without?
well, can we
Yeah.
finish? Let us finish our
Different-
discussion. We're
different
almost done,
Ashleys,
and then I'll turn
different
it over.
Ashleys, different-
Right, but I would like to
different
finish this. I would like to know: isn't it so that for you to condemn people who are heretics and to condemn non-Christians for the activities that they do, you're going to have to be degrading?
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments again. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'll ask again.
Go ahead.
Isn't it true that in order for you to condemn heretics and condemn people who go against the word of God, that you're going to have to be degrading?
No. Degrading.
No?
You have to.
So if somebody tells you
Yes.
that their mother made them into a secularist and that their mother physically abused them and this is the way that they are, and you say that their mother is wrong, would that be degrading their mother?
I don't know, but this is like a word salad.
You
at
don't
this
know?
point. At
It's
this
not a
point.
word salad.
Yeah, it is because I'm just.
How can you have conversations with people without risking offense and degradation? How is that even possible? If you're going to try to convince them of a worldview, how is it possible that you can make it every single time so that they take no offense and no degradation? How is that even possible?
Yeah, but when it comes to looks, it's different. It's not. We're not talking about
Wow.
something that's so deep. It's like because at the end of the day, I know there's a man that looks at her and he's like, she's a 10. A man's gonna look at her, she's a 10. A man's gonna look at me so who am I to put that my perception or beauty standards that are gonna constantly be changing?
But that's what we're asking
I
you
think that's
for. Is
actually
we're not
code.
asking you for that man's beauty
kinda code.
perception. We're not asking you for that woman's beauty perception. We're asking for your beauty perception. Yours.
No, it's ever changing. So I'm not gonna rely on my ever changing perception. Just same thing. Sometimes, okay, I went through a
You're just
phase
gonna
where I
lie
thought
to us.
braids were really ugly. Now I'm wearing them. It's like standards are always changing. So why am I gonna sit here and point and give numbers to girls? Like that's just.
It's kind of funny.
That's actually not really even what the conversation is about.
Yeah, it is. We're grading with
We're
numbers.
asking you from your subjective viewpoint on subjective beauty standards, from your subjective viewpoint of what you consider beautiful and not beautiful to be, to give yourself a rating based on that.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
fascinating
not-
for somebody who's Christian, who has such, because Christians have such a very set worldview of this is how you should live your life, but yet you're so unwilling to say, yes, there is a beauty standard.
It's just I can't sit here and say that even that's biblical. Like where in the Bible is saying that some people are ugly,
I'm
some
not
people
saying
are not.
it's biblical.
But
I'm saying you
that's
have
what
such
I'm
a
saying.
hard life structure of I have to do these things to be a good Christian, but I'm not willing to say that there's such thing as a beauty standard.
The beauty standard is always changing though, so I'm not going to sit here and rate.
Well, then that means that there was one at some point.
But
So
it's
whenever the
constantly
standard,
changing,
before
and
the
it's-
standard changed to whatever the standard is to the standard, there was a standard. So based on whatever you think that standard is right now, can you tell us what yours is?
No, I'm just not.
No.
This is the only one even the last time, it just doesn't, it goes in circles and it never makes sense. But like the comment said, you should grade your wife and put a picture of your wife up. Let's
Yeah,
see
my
what you
wife's
say.
a 6.
I think Rachel's beautiful.
I think she's a 10.
Now, is there any chance, now that I've answered your question honestly, that you'll answer mine?
No.
No, Andrew, I can't do that because I'm a fucking lying heretic and I just preach a false gospel constantly. I can't answer a single question you ask me honestly. It's impossible, Andrew. You could just go ahead and say that. That would be okay too.
Yeah, like that comment is good too. Yeah, beauty is fleeting. There's no constant in it. So it's just, I'm not going to sit here and I'm just not going to.
Yeah. You're
Okay,
just
well,
not
I've got some questions.
Going to ever engage with an actual, question that might risk offense to somebody else,
not offense,
even
it's
if
degrading.
it was true from your viewpoint, which is exactly why women shouldn't be ministers, because you suck at it. You refuse to engage in what's actually being asked. That's why you're a bunch of atheist factories. You people are atheist factories. You make atheists out of people. You don't make Christians out of them.
Yes.
I'll beg to differ.
Well, I have a couple. Oh, he needs a smoke break. Okay. I have a couple questions. So, 10, 10, 8, if I recall, for the two 10s here at the table. So then you guys do think, comparatively speaking, that you're the most attractive girls at the table?
No, I think we all are. Because I'm thinking.
You're just all equally attractive.
Yeah, I'm not going to
There's-
engage in this
there's
conversation
no-
anymore. Like, so we can just not answer.
Well,
that.
I mean, Andrew had his go,
But I
I'm
didn't
gonna-
answer it because I'm just not. When it comes to
You're
this
just
is
not?
this is the only question I won't. I just
You just
do not.
can't- you
I just
can't
don't
have
want to. It's degrading. It's just I'm not going to sit here.
How's
and-
it degrading?
Personally, okay, that's how I feel. So a lot of people haven't said a lot on the pod, and there was no problem. So I'm going to sit this
Well,
one
there's
out.
there's two women who said that they're 10s.
Yeah,
So-
that's in my eyes. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Right,
need
so I'm
anyone to
asking
agree
though,
with
some
that.
of the women here rated themselves lower. Are you saying that they're wrong in their own self-assessment?
No, if that's how they feel, I mean, that's how they feel. But at
Okay,
the same
and
time, I may
so-
feel like they are.
Right. So, but okay. Since you guys did rate yourself the highest, are you guys prepared to sit here and say that you guys are the most attractive women at the table, both of you?
No, and
No.
I'm not going to answer anymore when it comes to this.
You're not gonna. I mean, I have more questions on this, so I'm gonna keep asking you.
I mean, doesn't God tell you to be humble?
So,
Yeah, and that's why I'm not going to answer these questions.
what does that have to do with anything?
I mean, I don't need to answer all the questions. Like, I really don't. I don't know why. If I don't want to talk about this specific question, if it's that much of a problem, then it's a problem. But I just do not want to engage in this specific question.
Why?
That's it.
Why? Can you say why?
I've already said it. I'm just not going to say anything.
Are you not going to say anything?
Say, I answered my
Are you
part.
not going to engage in the conversation?
I can't speak for her.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to speak for her. I'm
Yeah.
asking if you'll engage.
Engage. I
Or are you
gave
going
you
to be
an
a sheep
answer.
and follow your friend?
No, I gave you an answer.
To what?
What's
I
the
asked,
answer?
I asked if you're going to engage in the conversation.
Oh, yeah, I can if I feel comfortable. But it's like I already gave you an answer to the last question. So if you're looking to ask more questions, I will then answer.
Yeah, great. Okay,
Okay.
well then answer.
Okay.
Is there a beauty standard which you hold?
A beauty standard that I hold.
Yeah. Are you going to lie to me? Or are you going to tell me the truth?
Are you going to finish that sentence?
Are you going to lie to me or are you going to tell me the truth? Is there a beauty standard that you hold? Do you hold a standard for what you consider to be beautiful?
I mean, from my perspective, my views of beauty is going to look
Yes.
different for everyone else.
Just your perspective, sure.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Do you hold one?
For myself, I mean,
For everybody who you encounter?
I'm not going around just rating people or saying like, oh, they look like this, they look
Well,
like
sure.
that.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that everybody you meet, you may not think whether or not they're beautiful, but certainly there's many people you meet who you think are less attractive than other people, right?
Yeah, maybe people's physical attributes look different or they look more enhanced
Sure.
than others. And
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So there are some people from your standard who you think are less attractive than others, right?
In my perspective, yeah.
Okay, that's totally reasonable and completely fair. can you tell me, based on those standards, if we were to go around the table, can you go ahead and tell me, based on those standards, and rate each one of those women?
I don't feel comfortable doing that.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, it's valid that if I don't feel like comfortable doing that.
They're doing that.
Every single time. Every single time. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Can you rate Brian?
According to my standards, like we said, I have my own standards and everything. According to what I like and what I'm attracted to, a 7.
Yeah. A what?
A 7.
That's pretty good, right?
Okay, great. I'm glad that you could do that for Brian.
No, but
Now do it for the
But that's
do it
different.
for the girl to your
wait.
right.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Do you want to do it to Maddie, or you want to rate?
She said she.
Yeah, go ahead and now that you've done it with Brian, what would be the distinguishment for why you feel comfortable doing it to a man but not to a woman?
Because me as a female, I'm attracted to men. I'm not attracted to women. I mean, it's easier for me just
but
to
you
throw
still
that
have a
out.
subjective standard for what is attractive in women as well.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Only for the men.
Wait, I have a question.
You're totally not a feminist, right? You're totally not a feminist, but you feel fine judging men, telling them to their face what you think the standard is. But when it comes to women, well, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't. That's a bridge too far, Andrew. Right?
Sure.
Women need to be coddled,
100%.
right? So, okay. I found it interesting, though, because you are able to make these determinations. You gave yourself a 10, yet I'm a 7. So your assessment of my physical attractiveness is 3 points below yours. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I found that interesting. I would actually say that, trying to be as objective as I can, I would actually say that in terms of our physical appearance, we're probably fairly comparable. But you might even be 1 point below me. I'm not saying that to insult you, just objectively. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. But your assessment is I'm 3 points below you. But you also rated me 2 points below my own rating, which I also find interesting.
Yeah, like I said, like we discussed, like we have what we are attracted to, what we're not attracted to, and
Chat, be super fair. Don't just like dunk on her just because she thinks she's a 10. Be super fair. When it comes just to looks, who would be settling here? Go ahead, chat. Just looks. And be fair.
You realize, so as you guys, and this is what I call extreme virtue signaling. The reason that we're kind of harping on this, I want to give you the rationale so that you now understand why we're harping on this. One of the reasons that dating, at least in modernity, seems so messed up is because it seems to be impossible for men and women to have honest conversations without what I would call female narcissism or women literally just lying. And it's because they actually follow the book of be nice, not the book of the Bible, which says nowhere to be nice. When you say kindness, kindness is not the same as nice. And I think that this is often conflated. And so I think that what ends up happening is there's no honesty left in these conversations because a man is asking a question. We know for sure you're full of shit when we're asking you, do you have a beauty standard? And you say, no, we know you're fucking lying through your teeth. We know, all of us know it. Not some of us.
I said yes.
Every single one of us know that that's total bullshit. And so if you were to ask this question and a woman kind of engages with it and says, no, I actually believe everyone's a 10, you realize that we all know you're lying. All of us know that. Not some of us, not a few of us. All of us know that. And so how in the world can you have this reconciliation when it comes to dating, when it comes to these conversations, when it comes to being open and honest with each other, if you can't even tell the fucking truth about what you think about a beauty standard? Why would I assume then that if I were dating you, you wouldn't lie to me? Why would I assume then that if I were dating you, you wouldn't lie about what my preferences were in order to make myself or yourself happy? How's that equally yoked? How's that biblical? How does that even make sense from a secularist perspective? It just seems absurd to me.
Oh, are you done? Okay. So like I said, I did say that there is a beauty standard from what I like and maybe what I think. But like you said, like if say you're in a relationship and you're talking about me lying, I mean, if I'm going out with you, obviously there's an attraction there, or I find you attractive. Like I said, like the rating I gave him was based on what I like. I don't need to know what everyone else is liking. Like for me, but even too, when I gave my answer, like rating my looks, like for me, like I said, like I wouldn't want like if I'm confident in myself, like that's just my confidence in myself.
let me take over here for a bit. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a 10, I'm a 7. Assuming I met your other standards, you would not date me based off of this, correct? Because I'm below you in terms of physical appearance, right?
It's not
I won't be offended.
It's not just in physical appearance. There's a lot of other
Yeah,
things
but
that add
assuming
to it.
like I met your other things, like I was a good guy, whatever, Christian, etc., you just wouldn't date me based on looks, right?
No.
No.
If someone was a Christian and they had all the check boxes, like the standards, like we have the same standards or whatever it is, and you're a 7, I'm not going to be so hung up on the physical looks.
But would you be settling? You feel like you'd be settling on the looks thing? You're 3 points above me in your physical
No, because
appearance.
I believe as we grow in the relationship, like God will give me even more of an attraction to whoever my spouse will be.
No, but you said I'm a 7 and you're a 10, so you would be settling, regardless of your growing attraction for me.
I mean, I guess if you put it that way, and I understand what you're saying. Like, I rated you a 7, I rated myself a 10. That's just how for me, I would not want to rate myself anything below a 10 because I wouldn't want to seem like I'm not secure in myself or confident in myself, which I'm not.
Why would you so do you think because I rate myself a 5, I'm not secure in myself?
No, not that. I'm saying for myself. I'm not talking about anybody else.
So you need to put on a facade of a projected belief about your physical attractiveness to be secure?
No, it's not a facade. I find it believable in my book.
So it's not just about being confident. You genuinely, aside from your confidence, you genuinely have your own assessment of your own physical attractiveness is genuinely that you are a 10. You are among the most beautiful women in the world.
I think it's not just because I'm going to get into a little bit more. I'm not just basing it off of my physical looks. I'm looking at it in my.
The question was looks.
Yeah,
rate
it just
your
said.
looks.
No, that's super insecure. I don't know why you guys are all so insecure. I don't know why there's so much insecurity that if we ask you your looks, you can't just be honest about it, but instead have to bring in other qualia that you think you need to introduce in order to make yourself more appealing to people. Why can't you just be honest? Why are you all so insecure?
I'm not insecure. I'm just telling you what else I factored into it.
Well,
I don't know, it sounds like insecurity to me. Like if I were, for instance, to walk around and be a braggadocious, kind of over the top, saying that I was a 10, I'm 11, I'm the most beautiful man in the world. Wouldn't you say I was arrogant? Wouldn't you say I was egotistical? Right? Wouldn't you say that was a sign of insecurity? And yet here it seems like it's a sign of insecurity from you. Why not just tell the truth about the actual question, which is, what do you rate yourself physically, rather than introducing other qualia? It sounds just like insecurity to me. It sounds like you're super insecure.
Well, first of all, I'm not insecure, and second,
I don't know. It sounds like you're insecure. Then answer the question: what do you actually rate yourself by physical beauty standards?
By physical beauty standards, on what people think the world possibly is considered beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably, I'm gonna be seen as a 7, or
Okay,
or even lower.
What about the girls? What about the girl to your right? Don't be insecure.
The girl, we're talking about me.
Don't be insecure.
I'm not insecure.
You sound like you're pretty insecure right now. Sounds like you're
I'm gonna
not
rest my
really
case.
confident in your
I'm not
position.
insecure, and that's it.
Period.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. So you're insecure.
Believe what you want to believe.
Okay. It sounds like insecurity. I'm just saying.
I'm not insecure.
Well, I have a question for you. Can you tell us a public figure, celebrity, who you feel is your male looks match or looks equivalent for the two tens?
Who?
Do you want to actually engage in good faith? Obviously, it's not Hezbollah.
No, not this one.
You can't think of a guy who you think, yeah, we're in the same league. You can't
No,
think
I
of
just don't want to engage in this conversation.
Why? Why not?
don't, Brian. I really
Why?
don't.
Because it's going to reveal that you're wrong?
No, it's just I did it last time and I don't like the question. Just don't. Even watching it from
She
other
doesn't like the question.
podcasts, I don't like seeing what I just don't.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll give you. What about you? Do you want to engage? Do you have a public figure or celebrity who you feel is your male looks match or equivalent?
I would say I never really thought about that someone be equivalent to me. So I really
Like
don't
in
know.
your league, like someone we can Google who you think is in your league looks wise. We'd obviously have to think of someone who has perhaps a bit of fame or celebrity. We can
Yeah,
discount.
who's also a 7.
We're going to
Yeah,
discount
that's fair.
the status. We're going to discount the status, the success, the money. Just looks. That way we can actually Google a person who you think is like your looks equivalent.
I don't even know.
I know.
Well, you said you're a 7 or a 10. I'm a little confused as to what the actual thing
Well,
is. So